Just bear with me. Tuwa Babakwar, which means good morning in the Paleo Hebrew. Which means good morning in the Paleo Hebrew. Yeah, so y'all can hear me. Just bear with me. Let me get this situated in the background. I'm just getting set up. Lord willing, we can just keep this straight to the point. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give our glory and our honor to the Most High, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakakwadash. In Paleo Hebrew, the Lord's name is Yahweh, who the world calls God, and Yahushai, who the world in me calls Jesus the Christ. And I want to give double honors to the elders in Great Millstone, starting with Etta Tahar, on down, the apostles, a Great Millstone that have been leading well through the Spirit, bringing forth 100% of Most High's doctrine to the best of their ability. And for the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth and inside of America, going to the highways and byways and doing sit downs, trying to feed the hopeful elect to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to have you enduring. Lord willing, He increase you into the knowledge and the understanding. And for the wise is playing their role as being loving and silent and virtuous to the best of their ability, even the single sisters trying to play their role to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other men and women that is not in the truth. I had got motivated through this morning. I'm actually tired, but had to drop my daughter off. And, you know, I seen a lot of things, even just this morning. You know, a lot of the wicked through the spirit is having that YOLO spirit. You only live once. Let's have fun. So, Lord willing, this is edifying and straight to the point. You could read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, straight KJV, but I want us to leave with no excuses. So, I'm going to read this in the GNT. You can definitely go read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. A very good read. So, Lord willing, we can bring out some precepts too. So, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6. It says, the wicked say, come on, then let's enjoy the good things of life and live in this world the way we did when we were young and free of care. Let's drink the most expensive wines and use the finest perfumes. Let's not miss a single flower in the springtime before the roses wither. Let's pick them and wear them in our hair. Let's all join in and leave signs everywhere of our carefree rivalry. Life owes us that much. Wicked is not thinking of nothing about Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They believe the life, you know, owe them something. We all owe Yahweh Shem Yahushai our life. That's why the real elect is going to strive into the truth until death. Guess what? Some of the hopeful elect is not even in this ministry yet. But the Lord know their heart. He know that they're faithful, right? Let me bring this out. And I bring this all the time, but it's very important. You can't make the Bible something. The Bible is a mystery. This is First Timothy chapter 1, verse 12. And anybody that's coming on, Barak, Tawab Barakwar, which means good morning in Paleo Hebrew. So First Timothy chapter 1, verse 12. And I thank Hamashiach Yahushai, our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. The Lord is not putting no wicked man in the ministry. But then sometimes you might see a man that goes back to his old vomit. So he was already wicked, but the Lord used him because man's going is of the Lord. The Lord can use you for 5 minutes and take your ass out. This is why every man and woman should be examining themselves. I don't care how student you is, how good of a teacher. I'm talking to me too, because I can see my face. I can't see y'all. You got to always examine yourself. The more you increase, the more you examine yourself. The more the Lord give you things, the more you examine yourself. He take things from you, examine yourself. You should always want to be better because the wicked minds always slip. Because guess what? That goes into Romans, the 7th chapter, when you go back into your human nature. And I'll probably, Lord willing, through the Spirit, bring that out. So back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, oppress the poor. Well, oppress the poor. If they are righteous, will show no respect for widows or old men. Right? And this even go for the nation of Esau, man. This goes for every nation that had a hand that don't even care. When you go to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, I believe 55. Right? I even bring that out because that would be a good precept too. But even Jake, you talking to a man, I was selling drugs and I didn't care about no old or young that wanted to get high. So let alone imagine like a Drake or a little Uzi. They selling you false advertisement. You got Cardi B, Shake Your Ass. You got Nicki Beyonce talking about basically be independent, all this other bullshit, and she going home to one man. False advertisement. And the false advertisement they gonna give you is an ass whooping. Deuteronomy 28 and 55. Wait, no, it was 50. Yeah, 50. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 50. It says, a nation of fierce a countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You got to know it's wicked Israelites. And you got to talk about the wicked nations. Even when we got into our own captivity, into different captivities, Jake started to learn other ways to do trickery, scam people, false advertisement, fake the funk, right? Because the devil can come like a light too. An Israelite can come like the light, and he could be like Yahweh ben Yahweh trying to lay with another man's wife, telling you to lay with him once. The devil could come in the light and be an elder and be teaching you. He could be teaching you some Yu-Gi-Oh doctrine, right? You got brothers trying to add and take away from the scriptures. I'm not saying all. Some people, a lot of us need to get things tight. A lot of us. I need to get things tight. Every man that's just, especially the men that's trying to desire to be 144, you should definitely always examine yourself. Even if you want to be 1/3. If you have a desire to make it on this side in the kingdom, you got to work on yourself spiritually. The flesh going to die off. We're going to slip sometimes. But it's always about, even when you slip, is you going to get your ass back up. Right? So we got wicked people that that want to oppress the poor in Israel and even out of Israel. I have to say it that way because you can look at the music industry. Israel have hands in it too, but we already know that's under the umbrella of Esau. So verse 11, it says, we'll call ourselves right if we are strong enough to get what we want. No one ever got anywhere by being weak. You see that? And this is what a lot of people think. When you teaching the words of the Lord, they think you weak. We is not freaking weak out here, man. The minute of the Lord, man, you cross that line, you're gonna get smacked upside your head. But the Lord made us use our weapon as which is a sword. Let me get that Ephesians. People think the men of the Lord, right? Right? This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17. Put on salvation as your helmet and take the sword of the spirit, which is uh take the sword of the spirit, which is the word of God. Our weapon's not carnal. You could slice and dice any man, even if he is moving righteous and he need a little correction, or a wicked man or woman. That is the Israelites' best weapon. The man. Now, as a woman, building up the children and talking to single women. But for the men, this ministry is really for the men to get Israel back in order. Every woman has to be willing to play her role and be willing to come back in this. And men have to be willing. But this another thing. The Lord has to draw you to Yahushai. If you wicked, the Lord can draw you to Yahushai for 2 minutes. Just to use you to bring somebody else in that might be mightier than you. Back to Wisdom of Solomon. Verse 12, it says, righteous people are nothing but Anuncius. So let's look for chances to get rid of them. So they look at us as nuisance. Righteous people are nothing but nuisance. So let's look for chances to get rid of them. They are against what we do. They accuse us of breaking the law of Moses by violating the traditions of our ancestors. This is why a lot of people that's not really in it, they want to be away from you. They want to avoid you. Now it's different, especially if you in this truth and say if, brothers might have too many kids or a big household and they might want to keep the feast days with themselves. Nah, that's different. We talking about real people that want to avoid you. They don't even want to study. They don't want to break bread. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they don't even look. They're not even trying to watch videos. The wicked is not watching videos. The wicked is not trying to sharpen a sword. Real men of the Lord is trying to sharpen a sword. Ooh, how sharp can I get this? You gotta be real frank. Even if you're trying to build your faith, you're sharpening your faith so that when anything try to mess with your faith, it won't be folded because you sharpened it. Everything in the spirit has to be sharpened. Your mind has to be sharpened. Your actions have to be sharpened. You have to forgive your brother 70 times 7. It has to be sharpened. Women got to be more modest in the mind. But even if you want to be modest physically, with the apparel, you better make sure you're modest in the mind because some of you women is just modest in clothing and your mind is not modest. You just a shameless poodle, right? Verse 13, it says, they claim to know God and they call themselves the Lord's children, Yahweh's children. We can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are contradicts. Let me say it again. We can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. They are not like other people. They have strange ways. They think that our moral standards are so corrupt that everything we do should be avoided. They boasting of having God of their father and believe that when all is said and done, only the righteous will be happy. This is a fact. True happiness is in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When black Latinos and natives did not know the name of the Lord, it hit your tongue when you found out, damn, his name is not Jesus Christ. He actually has a real name. His name is Yahweh Shai. And it rhymes with his father. Me and my wife was talking about this earlier today. Let me go back up. It was something that stood out real good. We can't stand the sight of people like that, what they contradict our whole way of thinking. If we was looking at the wicked contradict our way of thinking, right? But if we was in their way, yes, we contradict their way of thinking, because you shouldn't be living like that. I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. This is on the righteous side. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20 in the NLT, it says, look to God's instructions and teachings. People who contradict his words are completely in the dark. So on the righteous side, if you contradict what we trying to tell you and trying to get you away from your wicked. Dang, man. Yeah, I can't even see because of my I can't even see. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if y'all can hear me, man. Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Where was we at? What preset was we at? What is the last thing y'all heard? I don't know if y'all can hear me, man. Can anybody tell me what was the last thing they heard? What's the last thing y'all remember? Where was we at? What preset was we at? What is the last thing y'all heard? I don't know if y'all can hear me, man. Can anybody tell me what was the last? Okay, I'll just go back to where we was at, man. Um, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 14. I believe this is where we was at. It says, we can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are contradicts. What they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. And you look at that in two ways. Because on the wicked side, we contradict them, their way of thinking. And then on our side, they contradict the way we thinking. Because just like how Yahweh Shai is one with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the hopeful elect is one with Yahweh. Let me see. Somebody said, what verse? Verse 13. Oh, verse 13. I'll read it again. It says, they claim to know God. They call themselves Yahweh's children. We can't stand the sight of people like that. What they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. So I was saying you could look at it in two ways, because the wicked, they contradict us. And then on their side, we contradict them. So I had brought out Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20 in the NLT. Look to God's instructions and teachings. People who contradict his word are completely in the dark. And whenever you contradict the men of the Lord, or somebody that's actually teaching you the truth, or the men that's on these corners, these videos, even if they in your family, you contradict Yahweh and you are in the dark, right? And the wicked is some fools. If they think, of course, we gonna contradict what they saying, because when you even look at Galatians 5, of course we gotta contradict it. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, Ye are not under the law, right? Because you're in the spirit. If you're in the spirit, you're going to automatically follow the law because you have faith in it. But you're not under the law because when you're under the law, that's the sin of law. Because when you're sinning, but that might go over your head, especially for you Christians. It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these, right? The things of the flesh are manifest. So when you do things of the flesh, you have to always always have to re-look back to the law to get your ass in check, right? It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, which would be jealousy in all different spectrums, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderers, and if you hate your brother or your sister, you are a murderer. So that's another form of murder. Drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Hell yeah, we gonna contradict the wicked ways of thinking, because guess what? That's not you. I ain't gonna inherit the kingdom if I keep doing that shit. And we gonna contradict them, like everything we say gonna contradict their way of thinking, right? Because we trying to tell you to walk the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the wicked just want you to lollygag. Like the brother, he doing this thing. I ain't trying to like diss him, but I'm saying the way this man dancing in the middle of the street is how Israel is in this damn world. Even though he busting it down over there. I see you, brother. You killing it. Hey, oh. You know what I'm saying? That's Israel in this damn world, just enjoying life. Not like he fine, because I was just like him dancing in the street. I'm just using him as an analogy. The brother, y'all probably can't see him, but he over there dancing. That brother was busting a move. Yeah, y'all thought I was playing. It was really somebody over there dancing. So back to Wisdom of Solomon 2:15, it says, they are not like other people. They have strange ways. They think that our moral standards are so corrupt that everything we do should be avoided. And this is how people, when it comes to what we teaching, a lot of people feel like the morals of what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai told us to do, we're trying to uphold them to the highest extent. Because look how these other nations got you. They got you really messed up that you just think you could just do whatever the hell you want. It says, and they boast of having God for their father, and believe that when all is said and done, only righteous will be happy. Hell yeah, we boast about you. I mean, you did. The hopeful elect is gonna boast about the Lord. Yahweh Shemel Shai did this. He gave me a dream. Oh, he increased me in the knowledge. Oh, he gave me this. Oh, he gave me this husband. Oh, he gave me these kids. Oh, he keeping my strongholds away from me. He helping me. He healing me. He increasing me. Every day is somebody in this world speaking of thus saith the Lord, being happy, boasting about his power, his glory, right? And I ain't talking because I know a lot of you Christians do have a zeal for God. You really do. But like Romans 10:2, you have a very good zeal, but not according to knowledge. Y'all passionate when that gospel come on, but when you want to get that meat, that shit go over your head like a cap. Go right over your head like a damn jump rope, right? You got to dissect these things, man, and examine yourself. 17, it says, but well see if that's true. Let's see what will happen when it's time for them to die. If the righteous really are God's children, God will save them from their enemies. Yes, he will. Let alone, let's go to, and I'm not gonna get too fancy because I ain't gonna lie, I could take you all the way down the block with that one. The Lord is going to save us from our enemies, right? I'm going to show you one for us to be patient. But the Lord is definitely going to save us from our enemies. This is Baruch 4:25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God. The Lord gonna save us from his enemies because in the three holy children, chapter, basically one chapter, verse 9, the Lord gave you the lawless enemies. If you don't you think if the Lord gave us to lawless enemies, he would come get us? So the real people that want to get into heaven with the goody goodies, like Biggie said he don't want to get, like we really so messed up in this world got us so messed up and we enjoyed every captivity that we would be proud to really say that. Don't you know there's a lot of black Latinos and natives right now in our community that love the life that they live in. And just because they can't see heaven, they don't believe in it. Right now, you get the lowest level of what heaven is, being in poverty. But brothers and sisters can't look past a rulership. A real wife honoring her husband and he's ruling. Because we have the YOLO spirit. You niggas is a whole bunch of yo-yos. That YOLO life is just a whole bunch of up and down, a whole bunch of hangovers, and a whole bunch of people trying to chase a high like a crack fiend. Soon as you smoke that first blunt, ain't nothing like that first hit just like crack. And that's how it is when you want to enjoy life. People travel more than they travel to a new book in the Bible. People go to a new city more than they go to a new chapter in the Bible. Not everybody gonna be studious, but I know if you got demons in your closet, the only way to get rid of them is getting them the fuck out. But if you're not applying that pressure, they're gonna stay. Seducing spirits, man, let me get that too. I'm gonna show you another one when the Lord comes save us. Don't think I forgot. This is Matthew 12, verse 43. And when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return to my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. That's you wicked thinking niggas, man. That's not just you. That's why I said everything I'm saying, you gotta jump to Romans chapter 7. And it will show you the human nature. You do things that you don't want to do, but then you do it. And then you have moments when you want to do it, and then it just be a slip chance you don't do it. Right? A lot of us got a spirit playing with us. Right? It says, then goeth he, and taketh with him 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the Salaki. In the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So just like one man or one woman that got a spirit leaving and come with 7, 7 is a completed number. So look at Israel, it's millions of us. So imagine one spirit coming here. It's hard for a spirit to go and find no other place. Because we living right next to each other. That spirit can come in out this house. Another spirit can come and it can slap hands with that spirit. Hey, I'm about to go bother him over here. Hey, they got a lust demon. Because so much Israel was dealing with the same shit. Right? Now I promise I was going to get another script dealing with the Lord going to save you from your enemies. Right? Oh my goodness. Doing it this way is not my strong suit right now. Um yeah, I'm gonna just go to this one. There's many more we can go to. Oh, it just took me away from where we was at. Um Luke chapter 1, I believe. Wait, what the heck is going on? Salakia, my dang phone was trying to do a glitch. This is Luke chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 71. It says, wait, I'm going to start at 69. Take that back. It says, Luke chapter 1, verse 69, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, which would be Hamashiach Yahushai, who the word he calls Jesus the Christ, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So all the prophets, all the men of old was speaking of a redeemer, was speaking of a horn, a power, a king, right, that will come and save us. Let alone, let's continue. Verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And when you go to Matthew, the 24th chapter, the Lord is going to send the angels four corners of the earth to get the elect, right? The elect is trying right now to break down the old man. That's that Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. Let me go back to Wisdom of Solomon and read a few more of these scripts, and then we'll close out, right? I don't want to hold my brothers and sisters up. We were just getting a little motivation for before the day start. Okay, verse 19. It says, so let's put them to the test. We'll be cruel to them and torment them. Then we'll find out how calm and reasonable they are. We'll find out just how much they can stand. Right? And that's where you go to you gotta be stand fast and immovable in this thing. Because guess what? Your enemies would try to knock you off your symbol. Look at the Pharisees and Sadducees. They was doing that to Israel through the cracks and think they wasn't gonna get got. I believe this is First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye stand fast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You have to be abounding in the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Not sitting on the sidelines. And if you're on the sidelines, you should still be bounding in the work of Yahweh. That could be reading. That could be praying. Don't you know, some brothers is probably not reading or teaching. And guess what? They not even praying. You're not abounding in the work of the Lord. Because praying is going to help you even keep more demons. It's going to help you increase. A lot of us is asking for worldly things before we ask for spiritual things. You can ask for whatever you want. But to be technical, if you really dealing with things that's tossing you to and fro, and then you feel like you ain't doing enough for the Lord, you should be praying that the Lord increase you in those things. And you should be praying that the Lord give you motivation. Sometimes the Lord give you motivation through somebody else that might be reading a lot. Guess what? They might not know a lot of history as you, but they got the confidence to keep doing videos. The Lord gonna get them past you, or the Lord got them right where you at, but the Lord don't got them showing all of it. This is not a race. This is a race through the Spirit to collect more spirits than the other side. We got to collect spirits more than the other side. And you got to examine yourself. Seek out your own salvation while you trying to plant seeds. It's like, say if you trying to find a way back home, or you trying to lead your animal home, and then you just keep dropping doggy treats or cat treats, and they keep, following the trail and eating the trail, and then eventually get home, right? We got to constantly drop these videos, so before they collapse this damn internet, people, it's no excuse for not one Jake to not know the mark of the beast, not know prophecy, not to know how to examine themselves. If you're not seeking the ministry and you think you can conquer the whole world by yourself, fly the fuck up out of here then. And take us with you. We got to stop trying to take over the world. Hey, I need motivation The most motivation I got is the ones that's in my house. Outside of that, even around that, is the brothers that I labor with. And then even the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, even if you accept it or not. And these other brothers that's really diligent. Now, if you prideful, I'm not really connected with pride. I don't watch pride people as much. Or people that, oh, I know more than you. I don't rock with it. Just show it through your works. Show it by keep doing actions. I don't care if you know it all and you ain't doing nothing. That shit don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't mean nothing to anybody that's really trying to seek Yahweh. We want to see the food. And the food is you teaching of thus saith the Lord. Right? That's the best intimacy any man can have with a woman. And that's how you have intimate when you close with your brothers, man. When y'all breaking down scriptures, when you breaking down Sophia, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 21, it says, that is how evil people, verse 20, will condemn them to a shameful death after all. They say that God will protect them. That is how evil people think, but they are wrong. They are blinded by their own wickedness. They have never known God's secret, never hoped for rewards of a holy and blameless life. Look, they don't know the secrets. You want me to show you how? We already showed you 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 20. Anybody that contradicts the scriptures is in the dark. I'm going to go to just one that I've been bringing out so faithfully. Daniel 12, verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white. Many shall, which is the elect, and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. Anybody that's wicked behind closed doors, you're not going to understand the meat, let alone people tripping over the sincere milk. If it's a sister watching this video, you tripped over polygyny trying to talk about polygamy. And why is it so many sisters trying to worry about polygamy or polygyny, but you ain't trying to even get yourself right even for a husband? If you're not getting it on this side, you should be getting yourself ready for whatever husband the Lord appoints you in the damn kingdom, and you worried about what a man can have that you can't. You don't even know if the mark of the beast, you might think it's spiritual when it's physical. You're not even thinking about Jacob trouble, but you worried about polygyny when a lot of women going to be trying to cleave to the mightiest man through the spirit. How is women thinking about something they can't handle, but you want to bring in something else? Why do men want to be the head of a congregation, but they're afraid to freaking teach? They just want to tell brothers what to freaking do. Wicked always think backwards. That's why it took niggas to get it. It took niggas so long to get in this truth. It took for those hard 88 in the 80s and the 90s to really do crunching. Even though the truth was out here, it just was sprinkles. It wasn't really milked out here. The honeycomb wasn't out here where you can go to different cities and find it. You was finding a lot of Shabba Dooba Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the Lord, he started making the truth flood. And niggas look past that. Niggas really see through this truth, because you know why? You know why? Let me see if I can get it for you. You want to know why? Where is it at? Hold on. You want to know why? I'm about to show you right now. I'm about to show you. Just give me 3.536 seconds. I'm going to find it. I'm going to show you. And I was thinking of this. I literally was in my head. This is Hosea chapter 14, verse 9 in the GNT. May those who are wise understand what is written here, and may they take it to heart, take it to the mind, dissect it, and then apply it. Yahweh's ways are right, and righteous people live by following them. But sinners stumble and fall because they ignore them. That is the wicked that enjoy that YOLO spirit. Every man and every woman should be ducking and weaving and biting the air of a wicked spirit. If you know what's coming, you better snap back in it. You better wipe on and wipe off like Mr. Miyagi. But you're gonna trip. You're gonna stumble. Every man you have to cheer when you fall to a lower estate. The Lord dealing with you. He's chastising you. Guess what? You might, oh man, I slipped up. Oh, I did this. Some brothers might slip and smoke weed. But get your ass back up if you got faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Let me go back to Wisdom of Solomon and let's close it. Let's close it. Okay, we got two more verses. Um, verse 22, I'll read 21 again. It says, that is how evil people think, but they are wrong. They are blinded by their own wickedness. They have never known God's secrets, never hoped for the rewards of a holy and blameless life. That is a reward to have a holy, basically set apart. This is why I'm trying to teach my family, be set apart from this world. Stop trying to, let's go here, let's go do this. Have a family ever just let the man be a man, he about to go kick his feet up, or he about to go chill with the ox, or he about to go ball, and just be a regular, let's go to the park, let's go have a little regular picnic. Let's just go walk, or let's go get some sun. Let's just sit at the beach. You can go do Stravic stuff once in a while, but you want to be holy, you want to be set apart, because everybody in the world, that's like I heard what's his name? Slim Thug. He said how he stayed rich so much. He said, look, there's people always buying name brand shirts, and there's somebody 5 steps next to him that's got the same Gucci or Louis Vuitton. He said, man, my shoes be exotic, but these clothes, man, I can just go to Marshall's and get a name brand shirt for $8. And guess what? I'm thinking some of you brothers that's always talking about name brand or a foreign clothing, you might be sweet, like he said. You might be sweet because the owners of all these foreign or name brand clothes is some sweet tarts, not Pop Tarts. They're sweet tarts, and they got a little spirit on it, man. Let alone brothers you were using true religion. It was some gangsters using that, and they was getting fanny in the fan pack. I really believe serving the Lord, you got to have a simple life. I'm not saying just don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. I'm saying be simple. Don't be like everybody. You can go out and say, oh, that person went to Florida. They went to Orlando. Oh, I wonder where you going. Oh, I went to every amusement park. I went to every movie theater. I went to every water park. Shoot, I freaking went to the safari. I went to Paris. I was a model. I was on TV. It's so many people that want to do those same things and then do it over and over. That's just like celebrating Christmas every year and you're like, damn, I spent all that money. We can't even control money and they're about to cancel money. And don't you know all the dumb things we spent money on in this captivity? Every black person probably would have had more than $100,000. If you think in your mind all the money you spent since a little child all the way to the age you is on dumb shit, you could have actually been wealthy and your children would have been wealthy. But we probably don't think like that because we want to live YOLO, right? It says verse 23, when God created us, he did not intend for us to die. He made us like himself. Yes, we were supposed to be eternal, but the situation with Eve, I have to get it because it said right there. We can go to Sirach 25, verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So yes, we would have been immortal. But hey, the Lord knows the end just like he knows the beginning. Verse 24, it was the devil's jealousy that brought death into the world. And those who belong to the devil are the ones who will die. And the devil is on the left-hand side. Devil just mean deception, liar, killer, murder. It's everything on the left-hand side of Yahweh. And he did his purpose. Don't you know the devil is more faithful and loyal to Yahweh Shem Yahushai than every man and woman? That's why we got to try. The devil working even faster. And guess what? He got minions. And niggas is afraid to doing no. You telling me trying to do the laws to the best of your ability to the best of your ability. You telling me that's hard? It's more easier than smoking a cigarette with a cigarette pack say you gonna get cancer. It's more easier than that. Let alone having faith. Faith is something that you don't see. Guess what? I don't see my home right here, but yes, I'm in the car. I have faith. I'm going to make it to my house. I know it because I believe I'm doing things that please the Lord. So I know He's going to get me to my house safe. I have faith in it. I don't see it, let alone to go in a deeper way. I don't see God. I can't look out the window, eat God, and He just pop up, or Yahweh Shai, or unless, you know, through the Spirit He come in like a homeless person or somebody else. But the Lord not just popping up, showing up to me. Who am I? And that's where faith come into play, right? And let me get this. This is the last one. This is the last one. We closing out right here. We're going to close out right here, man. The wicked, if you tired of being wicked, you should just drop it right now, repent, and try to get right. And if you don't know how, closed mouth won't get fed. Ask questions. Stop acting like you know it all. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Dude, my reward that I want is either being 144,000 or 1/3. That's what I want. I want to make it to get beamed up. Even if I die for the name of the Lord and He wake me back up for that judgment and I get beamed up, it changed it to a twinkling of an eye. Woo! Ric Flair ain't gonna have shit on me. I'm gonna be like, woo! Yeah, that woo, that damn woo made me coffee. But like I said, man, ain't nothing like serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Yo, the Lord will reward you liberally. He gives wisdom out freely. All we got to do is what He want to do. Whatever we going through right now, even if it's good or bad, rich or poor, it's only for a time. So look, the Lord, every man and every woman got to put themselves in. When Yahweh Shai was speaking to the rich man, He said He was keeping the commandments. He said, okay, just do this one thing. Give up all your riches to the poor. He couldn't do that. A lot of us can't even sacrifice, even if we not rich. You can't even sacrifice smoking weed. It's brothers that's calling on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, His real name, and saying if you smoke weed, you can get closer to God. That would be the biggest stumbling block to any new member. Put that fucking weed down. Excuse my language. I'm rude in my speech, but not according to knowledge. Put down the weed. If I say put down the weed, that brother was smoking weed. I was smoking weed. I'm 5 years clean because it did not make sense how I'm going to really serve the Lord if I'm getting high, smoking a blunt, which is not natural. You don't smoke parsley. Then you got same sex. Right now they're pushing the LGB 123 Sesame Street right in our face. If you don't accept it, you're finished. They got TV shows. Right now, I just watched the news. They have a newer TV show for little kids so that they can see the body parts of transgenders. Ones that don't get a trans, that don't cut their privy, and ones that do. Just so that they can know sex. Let alone, it lets them know it's okay to like, say if you're a man and you like a transgender, you're not gay because they want to promote that a transgender man, I call it a transformer or a nigga bitch, that is a man. They say no, that's a fee. If you like a man that dressed like a woman, you're not gay. No, that is terrible. Isaiah 5:20. They make good evil. It's a lot of things. It's like me that the tea is so delicious. There's a lot of things in this world that is a distraction. A lot. And a lot of things is a stumbling block to take you away from fully grasping Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's why a lot of people still stuck on the name Yah, Yahweh, Yehuda, and Yu-Gi-Oh! They can't get it on their tongue, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. See, I didn't, man, I'm going to just leave it alone, man. I'm going to just leave it alone. Actually, nope, let me bring it out. Let me bring it out. Salaki, let me bring it out. You know, This is St. John chapter 6, KJV, but this is G&T though, because I have it saved as a picture. But KJV, it's plain in KJV. I'm just reading it, it's in the picture. It says, people cannot come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them to me, and I will raise them to life on the last days. If you're not drawn to Yahweh Shem Shai in the last days, if you're not drawn to Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, his real name, you're not going to get it. But you never know. In that last minute, it might be some people calling the Lord Yu-Gi-Oh or Yah. They might get saved in the last day. The Lord is just going to be tweaking brothers and sisters understanding, man. And this is what we should be praying for. I'd be praying that I can be on accord with the brothers I labor with and the brothers I'm watching. I don't want to be watching too many people when it comes to prophecy breakdowns. Now, when you out in them corners, I'm seeing you hold it down because you an Israelite. That going to them highways and byways. But I'm following one doctrine, one set of teachers. You know, I get along with all Israel, but I know all Israel is not Israel. And it makes sense. I'm going to be giving more feedback to brothers that's in the same ministry. It's going to be more of a talk, right? So we have to evaluate ourselves with Yahweh Shem Shai, because we got to be drawn to him to even understand the littlest things. And then when the Lord give you a chance to understand the littlest things, he'll increase you to understand the hard things. If you can't get the parables, you got to observe John chapter 10, because the sheep know his voice. So if you get the parables, even if you don't get it the first time and you study it, and then you eventually get it, if you don't get it in 5 years and 10 years, that should always be on your mind. I'm not good enough. I need to know more, because you're not getting it. Some people would twist the scriptures and think it's something else. And then when somebody trying to give you the real understanding, you reject it. Like your CD player in your car, you putting the CD in and the damn CD player keep rejecting it. That's how a lot of you is it's the real truth is really out here, man. The Holy Ghost is not 50% or half. It's the whole truth. It's just certain things is going to be lined up when Yahweh Shai come. When Yahweh Shai come in place, right? But the true doctrine is going to come out, because we're all waiting for prophecies. So if a seal get unsealed right now, people that know the minute, they be like, oh, this the third or this the fourth seal. That mean, okay, if they're right, that mean their understanding is right. If the mark of the beast come, their understanding is right. Right? The 100% truth is out. You just see it in the doctrine. It's just the way how we move as men and women will be corrected, and let alone men are going to go back to their natural state. So Lord willing, Lord willing, this was edifying, and it deals with, some will say, let's enjoy our life while we can. I say throw that shit in the trash in the recycling bin, and don't look back like Lot's wife. Till next time, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world entity calls Jesus the Christ. Yahweh in Yahweh Shai is in Paleo Hebrew. And of course, double honors where honor is due to the apostles and the elders in Great Millstone from Edda to on down, regardless if you accept it or not. And of course, a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect, whoever you may be, on the highways and byways, and doing sit downs in congregations and out of congregations. Lord willing, the Most High increase you and align you in the right understanding, regardless who you are. And Lord willing, he has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that is not in the truth. Till next time, shalom. Kwam Yesharel.